Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun is a chain of family entertainment centers that started in 1982. Thank you for your suggestion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime at Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun Restaurant. The most phantasmagorical good times this side of Moosylvania. Come see the beautiful fantasy fountain water show. See the daily stage performances starring Bullwinkle, Rocky, and his friends. It's Bullwinkle's. You'll come for the food, but stay for the fun. Bullwinkle's Family Food and Fun Restaurant. See you there.
Before Bullwinkle's Entertainment was founded, there was the Family Fun Centers, which was the indoor-outdoor amusement company started by two brothers, John Huish and Jim Huish, in 1974, and featured outside activities including a go-kart track, batting cages, bumper boats, and 18 holes of miniature golf. The brothers' chain was called Huish Family Fun Centers, but was renamed Bullwinkle's in the 1980s. A few years later, Nolan Bushnell, co-founder of the video game company Atari, had a dream to open up an interactive family entertainment restaurant that would combine dining with the feeling of being at a carnival. He wanted to expand video arcades beyond just adults and teenagers to a more kid-friendly atmosphere. His first idea was a pizza parlor because of how quickly and cheaply the food could be made, with talking beer barrels. However, he was inspired by Walt Disney World's Enchanted Tiki Room and the Country Bear Jamboree to include a character audio animatronic show, all produced by his in-house staff on a stage at the end of a dining area. He had ordered a costume that he thought was a coyote, but it turned out to actually be a gray rat with a snout and buck teeth. So instead of his first choice of Coyote Pizza and then Rick Rat's Pizza, he was convinced to theme the restaurant to a mouse who would love the cheese on pizza. The first Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater opened on May 17, 1977 in San Jose, California, and was immediately popular. It expanded into additional locations and inspired a host of imitators, including Showbiz Pizza Place with mascot bear Billy Bob Broccoli. In 1979, David L. Brown obtained licensing rights to use intellectual properties from the J. Ward Productions and Total Television catalog. He had designed live stage production shows featuring the licensed characters in a show called Call of the Wild, which also appeared at venues and even amusement parks. The first location in Santa Clara opened up on June 14, 1982. This was the official prototype location, which had a promotional video for expansion purposes. The concept was similar to Chuck E. Cheese, where families could come in, dine on pizza, play arcade games with special tokens, and watch the animatronic entertainment. The restaurant included an animatronic show based on the characters, mostly by Jay Ward, in a theater-style dining room known as Bullwinkle's Showroom. This show came to be known as the Prototype Stage, which included a 3-stage setup. The center stage featured licensed characters such as Bullwinkle, Rocky, Tooter Turtle, Hoppity Hooper, Underdog, Boris, and Natasha. Stage right, which was on the audience left, featured Dudley Do-Right, and stage left, audience's right, featured Tennessee Tuxedo and Chumley. None of the original cartoon voice actors reprised their roles for their respective characters. Shows ran every 15 to 30 minutes. One former customer remembers the show made no sense and was a total ripoff of the Country Bear Jamboree. Additionally, there was a fountain attraction in the front of the stage that was known as the Fantasy Fountain Show. The water fountain show had some laser lights mixed in to give off some cooler effects. There was also a side stage near the entrance called Dudley Do-Right's Lockup, which featured Snidely Whiplash. All of the animatronics were designed and manufactured by Fred Hope. The arcade area was known as Underdog's Mighty Metropolis, which included classic and contemporary arcade games. The arcade was known to be dark and noisy and included games like Skee-Ball, which gave you tickets that could be turned in for a prize. There was also a mini photography studio called Mr. Peabody's Improbable Picture Place, which was sometimes renamed with the word palace, replacing place. The gift shop was known as Rocky's Trading Post, and there were separate dining areas away from the showroom called Dudley's Den. The food items, which were frequently plugged by the animatronic performers, were named after the characters themselves. In 1983, Bullwinkle's expanded into Canada with a location in Edmonton, followed by one in Calgary the following year. By this point, the company needed to source new animatronics, as Bullwinkle's and the only animated display and design company were no longer in business together due to creative differences during the development process. Additionally, Bullwinkle's realized they needed to cut costs significantly in order to expand at the speed they wanted to and compete with Chuck E. Cheese. They found their answer in AVG Technologies, who were tasked with taking the blueprints from the original animatronics and modifying them to be mass-produced in a more cost-effective way. These changes resulted in what is known as A Stage, a show, which is almost identical to the prototype stage. This setup used new AVG-created animatronics, removed Tennessee Tuxedo and Chumley, and rehomed Underdog to the stage left, which was on the audience right position. Shortly after this, the Santa Clara location's prototype stage was also replaced with the A Stage, effectively removing Tennessee Tuxedo and Chumley from the show concept permanently, and more locations with this stage started popping up in the US, including Federal Way, Norcross, and Richmond. Around this time, the Huish Family Fun Centers, a family entertainment concept which usually only had a snack bar, came into the picture and decided to put Bullwinkles in their large entertainment centers as full restaurants. The locations that opened around this time included those in the Family Fun Center, including Anaheim, Chattanooga, El Cajon, Escondido, Fountain Valley, Irvine, Northridge, San Diego, Upland, Vista, and Wilsonville. Additionally, some locations opened without a show at all. These included Edmonds, Grand Rapids, and Pensacola. At this point, their originally designed restaurant setups with Underdog's Metropolis, for example, were no longer being used, making way for the combining of Family Fun Center's existing arcade and the amusement concept with the Bullwinkle's brand. By 1991, the Huish family would purchase the entirety of Bullwinkle's to merge into operations with their Family Fun Centers. As more locations continued to open throughout the 1980s and 90s, the Moosetronic shows would continue to decrease the amount of the characters to the point of only including Bullwinkle, Rocky, Boris, and Natasha. This setup, dubbed as the B Show, is the only surviving setup of animatronics within the chain, with the last remaining public animatronic show located in Tukwila, Washington. In 2001, Bullwinkle's filed for bankruptcy, and many of the existing locations, of which there were not that many by this point, started to close at a rapid pace, including Cary, one of its newest locations. A small handful of locations continue to operate as Bullwinkles, with other locations being converted into Boomers, including Medford. Some Boomers locations did not remove their animatronic shows, however, and continued to operate them as if nothing had changed. Eventually, the shows would fall into disrepair and become not much more than unsettling decorations. Today, there are 3 locations bearing the Bullwinkle name. There's one in Wilsonville, Oregon that opened in 1994 and converted into a Bullwinkle's Entertainment in 2019. Another one in Tukwila, Washington, opened as a family fun center and a Bullwinkle's restaurant in 1999. It is currently the last remaining location with a public Bullwinkle's Moosetronic show as of 2019. The last one is in Upland, California, where it is one of the original Huish Family Fun Centers that opened in 1972 with a Bullwinkle's, which was added to the property in 1983. The location was sold to Palace Entertainment in 2001 and rebranded as a Boomers Park. In 2021, the Huish family bought back their Upland location and reopened it as Bullwinkle's Entertainment. The location can be seen off the 10 freeway as you're heading westbound towards Los Angeles. Massive renovations for 2024 are currently underway, including the addition of bowling lanes, laser tag, bumper cars, virtual reality, escape rooms, and more arcade games. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.